I'm the Global Runner and it is Thursday and I'm about to get on a plane to go to Ottawa to run the Ottawa Marathon. And I had always assumed that I was going to run the Ottawa Marathon in these, the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. These are my marathon shoe of choice. I've done a couple of races in these. They've probably got about 100 miles on them now, so they're getting a little bit older, but really great shoe. Love this shoe. However, completely out of left field, we found a cat amongst the pigeons. My very good friend was in New York and found a pair of these. The Puma, again, Fast R3. Whoops, I can't even, they are crazy, crazy shoe. So bearing in mind, we are 3 days before the marathon, I was a bit hesitant as to whether or not I could even try this shoe. So what I decided to do was, the session for today was 3 by a kilometer, and I thought I would just try it out and see if it's going to usurp the Deviate Nitro Elite 3 as my marathon shoe of choice. And as the title of this video suggests, this is an easy decision. It is not going to usurp this shoe. This is the shoe I'm going to run the Ottawa Marathon in, and let me tell you why. So first of all, let's go over the pros of this shoe, or what this shoe's all about. This is a super lightweight shoe. Already the Deviate was 199 grams, and so that is super lightweight. These are 20 grams lighter, 179 grams, which is insane. They've got this crazy sort of, I don't know, Diablo heel or whatever you want to call it here. And they're pretty cool. This is the third iteration of this, and they've lost a ton of weight. You can see the plate there. There's a bit more give in this plate, I understand, but it still has that sort of sticky out bit at the front, which, you know, I guess the geometry makes sense, like the maths make sense. It gives you more of a toe off. So this shoe, you've seen all the videos saying how much faster it is, how much more efficient it is. And so this was one that I really wanted to try out. So I tried it today on a session which was 3 by a kilometer. And don't get me wrong, this shoe is super fast. I did 3:15, 3:11, and 3:06. But the first thing I noticed when I put this shoe on was it's a lot more aggressive than the Deviate Nitro Elite. I'm a bit of a heel striker, and this sort of cutaway at the back, you notice it. You definitely notice it if you're a heel striker. So I'm not saying you notice it in a bad way. I'm just saying you notice it. And when I first tried them on, I was like, wow, these are a crazy shoe. I would say that when you try both shoes on, one on each foot, the Deviate is softer in my view than this one. The foam in it is softer. So the R3 is slightly firmer. And I think if it had had softer foam in these pods at the back here, I think I would have got on with it a lot better. But you can definitely feel these pods at the back when you're running. That said, super lightweight. I didn't notice the thing sticking out at the front, but you know, the physics checks out. The lockdown is not as easy to get a good lockdown as the Deviate. It wasn't a problem, but I found that it wasn't as easy of a lockdown. So like I say, I tried my 3 by K, and this is a super fast shoe. Don't get me wrong. This is a very, very fast shoe. And if I were running a 10K or a half marathon, I would definitely pick this shoe over the Deviate. However, with a marathon, things are slightly different. Like in a marathon, I want the first 20 miles to just zip by. And I want the first 20 miles to feel effortless. And I don't want to feel like, I don't want to be thinking about the shoe in the first 20 miles. And that's what you get with this. That's the experience you get with the Deviate. With this shoe, they are super fast, but I feel like you are working with them. I feel like they are a pair of shoes that will give you lots in return if you give them enough. And I just feel like these are shoes where in a half marathon they would be amazing, but these are not a gentle cruiser. Now, if I had more time, I think I would get used to them. And certainly by the 3rd kilometer, I was feeling like, yeah, they're not as crazy as I initially thought, but I'm not willing to risk it. Like 3 days before a marathon, they are too dramatic a shift from this shoe to risk it. So would I race the New York Marathon, which is going to be my next marathon? Would I race that in these? Probably, but I need to do a lot more testing before I do. So, as I said at the start of this video, the decision is easy. At this stage, I'm going to run with the shoe that feels most comfortable, which is this one. But come New York, we could well be running in this.